Palm trees? When did New York get palm trees? There's no palm trees in New York, and as you can see, it's really green for April. That's because I am now living in Florida. We moved to Florida about a week and a half ago, late March. Sold our house in New York. Sold our house in New York and came on down to the land of perpetual summer and sunshine. So far, a week and a half in, it's probably the best thing we've done as a family. You know, we obviously miss our family up north. We're down here pretty much by ourselves as far as relatives and family goes. But we got fed up in New York with the taxes, the cold weather, the snow not so much. I don't mind snow, but I definitely don't mind not having it and the cold that comes with it. So we've been down here a week and a half. This is only my second time riding because we've been obviously unpacking and all that stuff. The move went pretty well. I did get a flat, not a flat, I got a bubble in my tire on my M56 on the last part of the trip down, somewhere on I-75 here in Florida, which I had to get new tires for. I mean, I needed new tires anyway. I was getting close to the red tread markers on the tread meter, so I got some new Michelin Pilot 4s, Pilot Sport 4s. But yeah, now I get to ride pretty much year round, guys. So expect more vlogs because there's a whole new world out here that I have not explored. I'm on an errand right now for my wife to go get some supplies for Easter. Happy Easter, by the way. He is risen. But yeah, I'm on a hunt for some supplies, so I'm gonna go to a grocery store. I could have went to one a mile away from the house, but you know, I'm on the bike, so I'm gonna go like 10 miles from the house. But I love the highways here. Most of them are smooth, very little potholes. Although again, I did hit one at like 9 p.m. in the dark on the way down, which caused a bubble, but that was like the only pothole I saw for hours. Whereas in New York, it's like every few feet. I did get for the bike a Christmas present from my in-laws. I got a screen, which I have yet to install, because the garage is actually the last thing we gotta unpack, or I gotta unpack, because we're done with everything else. I have a whole bunch of boxes in the garage I gotta start sorting and putting on shelves and all that stuff. So I mean, just look at that sunshine, guys. It's like, oh, so beautiful. I live just east of Tampa. So it's, you know, close to the city, but not so close where I gotta deal with the city traffic. By the way, speaking of traffic, Tampa, I'm hoping right now it's 7:30. I'm hoping right now it's not too bad once I get closer to Tampa, but it's definitely not as good as I remembered it being, you know, 10 years ago. We got water everywhere. I might have to start pick up a new hobby here, boating. Not really a big fan of it at the moment, but it's kind of enticing. But yeah, so traffic is not great, but otherwise that's pretty much the only major downside. If we want to go from our house to like Clearwater Beach or St. Pete Beach, we gotta typically deal with some traffic. But yeah, I hope to have my screen installed within the next week or two. It's a Puig dark smoke, I believe it is, made just for the Vulcan S. It's not one of those generic ones. So we're hoping that it starts to, it blocks a lot more of the wind. Right now it's not too bad, but when you're by the water on the causeways and bridges, the wind is a little stronger. So hopefully it helps with that. But yeah, everybody, I get some weird looks because people think I came down to Florida on my bike, because my bike still has New York plates. I went to the DMV here trying to get plates and licenses and all that stuff, and I knew it was preferred to get an appointment, but I didn't realize, and I knew they had walk-ins. Man, look at that view, guys. That is just, this is one of those tiny reasons of why we moved down here. Just look at the skyline, look at the sun, look at the sky turning orange. So nice. But yeah, so I knew there was walk-ins and I knew it was preferred to get an appointment, but I went like first thing in the morning, and I kid you not, the line for the DMV, or the tax collector as they call it down here, was wrapped around the building for the walk-ins. And I asked the lady, like how big is the room? She goes, there's no way everybody is getting in. Maybe 1/3 of the people would actually make it in. So I turned around and went home. But I made an appointment for mid-April to get my stuff. So for the time being, I'm still running around on my New York registration and plates. So I think people give me some weird looks because they think I drove this bike down from New York. Which I definitely would not do unless I had like a Goldwing or something. But I love my Vulcan. I miss my Ninja, but I love my Vulcan. But this bike is not made for that kind of travel unless you do some serious upgrading of the seats, suspension, etc. So I definitely would not last more than 2 hours a day. Probably my butt would hurt real bad. I am looking forward to living here. Some of the things I couldn't get in Albany, New York, like professional sports. Whenever the Jets, the Mets, the Rangers, and for now the Heat. I guess we'll see how 2021 unfolds, because right now the Toronto Raptors are playing in Tampa. This has been their home since COVID started, because Canada, it's hard for them to travel between Canada and the US, I guess. So if they stay here for next year too, then I could probably see the Heat locally. But now I'm 4 hours away from Miami, so I can go see my favorite team in person relatively easy anyway. But so I am looking forward to being, within 35 minutes of being able to watch my teams when they come to town to play the Rays, the Bucks, and the Lightning. But so that's a plus. Obviously the weather's, it's April 3rd today and it's 72. I am wearing a light jacket with my striker vest, but during the day you can, it's warm enough to ride in whatever you want. Although, as you guys know, I generally don't skimp on gear. At least my helmet, my gloves, my boots, and my vest. I always have those pretty much. There was a cold spell a couple of nights ago. It hit like 50 at night. when we came down here, it was mid-80s, so they had a abnormal heat streak. But I'm looking forward to being able to ride 50 weeks out of 52 weeks. You know what I mean? Whereas in New York, I can only ride like, you know, half the year, if that. I usually started in like April, like around now, until like mid-October usually. Occasionally in November you get a freak day where it's like 75 early November, but that's rare. So looking forward to that. I am gonna miss my dad's garage and tools and the lift. So I've already had to make some adjustments and pay some more money for maintenance that I typically wouldn't probably have paid. So I actually got to drop off my M to the dealer, and I actually went with the Nissan dealer, but it was closer than the Infiniti. Infinity's out here somewhere, just north of me where I am right now, by the airport. Infiniti Tampa, but I went to Nissan. They gotta change my rack, my steering rack, because it is leaking. So you know, if I lived at home still, I may have tackled that myself with all the tools and the lift, but without those tools and the lift, there's no way I'm doing that myself. So dropping that off Monday to get done. I already had the tires installed. Is that a GT4? No, it's a Ferrari. No, it's an Acura? No, it is a Ferrari. Okay, this is the 488, right? That's nice. Yeah, you'll never see us in New York, guys, in Albany, New York, anyway. We don't have many exotics. That thing is beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful car, man. I drove a 458 Italia a couple years ago. If you guys watched my channel back then, at Gotham Dream Car Tours. Man, that car was just precision, man. It was like a surgical knife. But yeah, there's McLaren dealerships all over the place here. There's I've seen Ferraris, a lot of Maseratis, guys. Like, I see probably 4 or 5 a day, especially near downtown. Tampa's got money for sure. I'm actually going that way. Look at me. I like his F1 light or whatever that's called. Oh, there's a Subaru WRX or something in front of him. I guarantee that guy tries something. What else about Florida do I like? Since I'm doing a kind of a recap, I like that I don't have to worry about emissions inspections anymore. So I don't know if I made a video about this, and if I didn't, I probably should have. I think I did, actually. So I had a catalytic converter code on my M56, so I fixed it with some anti-foulers or spark plug spacers. But I don't worry about that down here. You know, they do a safety inspection of like brakes and stuff, but not emissions. So I can just, you know, cruise, and then I can do my tinted windows. You know, have them without getting worried about getting pulled over. So that's always a plus. It wasn't all the time in New York, but it was enough where my wife once told me that if you're getting on a ticket, we're gonna remove the tint. Well, luckily, luckily I didn't, and now we moved down to Florida. So people here have like dark tint. Like even their windshields are 20%. I wouldn't go that dark. I can't see anything at night with it that dark. Like this guy right here. Look at, he's probably got 5%. Actually, I need to get over here. Still learning the roads, but more or less I have learned the way to Clearwater Beach or Clearwater in general. I haven't ridden out to the boonies yet. Oh, there's the Ferrari again. So there's two ways to get on 60. There's the way that I went and the way that he went. That's probably the only time in my life that I'll ever beat a Ferrari. There's some nice houses right here on this little bay. They're right on the water. But yeah, I'm looking forward to really getting on the bike a lot more and exploring towards like Lakeland and Plant City and Ocala and out that direction. Even downtown Tampa, we only drove through it once or twice. Once when we were here on vacation, had nothing better to do at midnight. We just took the rental car from Clearwater and drove out here. And then once, like 2 days ago, we got rerouted. I love Waze, guys. It reroutes around traffic here so well. Like, it looks like it's sending you into downtown, which is typically, you would think, worse traffic, but no. I mean, 275 here, where it merges with like 75, I think it is just all the time traffic, pretty much, from like 7 a.m. to like 8 p.m. So it sends you around that stuff pretty well. So I wish Google would merge Maps and Waze, because Google owns Waze now, but so far it's still two separate apps. Hashtag save our children, end child trafficking. Absolutely agree with that. It's a scary world out there, man. Alright, so we're gonna go over the Courtney Campbell Causeway here into Clearwater. I'll do my shopping, and then maybe I'll record on the way back too, but that's basically where I'm heading. I just figured I'd do a longer trip. I gotta check out this little beach here. I've noticed it so many times. It looks pretty nice. But yeah, palm trees, man, they make everything better, right? I mean, just look at this. Beautiful sky, beautiful palm trees. People just having a good time. I didn't see the boat initially. I'm like, that's a weird wave. It's got like a tear through it, but then I realized why. I mean, just look at this, guys. This is why I moved here. It's actually it's not a hilarious story, but I've always thought about moving, and then, you know, we got married, and, you know, all my family's in New York, and just a lot of these small things that added up, and my wife initially, after we got married and we honeymooned here and we came down here twice or 3 times with in-laws and stuff, and she kept saying, let's move to Florida, and I'm like, nah, it's you know, it's too hot there in the summer. We'll just vacation there in the, you know, spring or fall when it's still chilly in New York. And then she kind of just, you know, kind of gave up on it. And I got my work bonus in November, and dude, I got screwed on it so bad by taxes in New York State. I mean, federal will get you everywhere, but New York State took a big chunk too. And I got fed up with the whole thing. I'm like, listen, this is ridiculous. I work from home. I can pretty much live anywhere as long as work approves, which you know was very easy. You know, luckily I work for a great employer. I'd love to shout them out here, but you know, I don't want to reveal too much about myself. But I'm blessed with a pretty good company. They've taken care of me multiple times, so you know I can move anywhere. And we initially thought about Charlotte, North Carolina, and I do have family there, but it still gets a little chilly there. So we decided let's just go ham and go Florida. And you know, we don't have kids right now. We're just us two. So let's see what happens. If we don't like it, we just move again. If we like it, great. You know, we'll settle down. We'll build roots. Yeah, so November happened, taxes happened, and I got fed up, and I said, listen, let's move to Florida. So we kept mulling it, or I kept kind of mulling it in the back of my mind for about a month and a half, and then in mid-January, I want to say, just before Martin Luther King's Day, we listed the house for sale that Saturday before Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and that Monday, you know, we had off, or I had off from work. I had 3 showings that Monday, so I listed it at like 1 a.m. Saturday, and by 5 or 6 p.m. Monday, I had an offer that we accepted. So the housing market right now is just insane. You know, so it's kind of bad and good. It's great if you're selling. It's not so great if you're selling and buying, because you're gonna pay more than what the house was worth like a year ago. Obviously, it's gonna cut into your profit. You know, so if you're a senior selling your house and you're moving to a senior community, or you know, kind of that kind of situation where you're downsizing, man, selling your house right now is like the opportunity. You can make bank, but if you're trying to buy a house, it's obviously not as great. But it's still you know, if you move from the north to the south, housing is still cheaper here, regardless. So it was a good decision for us financially, mentally. It just, you know, this beautiful scenery and weather, it makes everything, you know, it's less stressful. It's not as dreary from, you know, November to end of March. So yeah, that's how we ended up down here, kind of on a whim. We just decided one day, let's do it. I'm sure if I had kids like my siblings, it'd be a lot harder decision, and maybe something we wouldn't have done, but so far we do not regret it. But yeah, I'm entering Clearwater now, so I'm gonna wrap up here. But look for more videos. I hope to record more frequently here, because there's obviously a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see. Some of it's going to go on my traveling channel, which is traveling.ukrainian. So if you are not subscribed to that channel, please I would love your support. Also, if you're not subscribed here, you just happen across this video, definitely would appreciate your love and support here as well. Click the like button, click the subscribe button. You know, let me know what you guys want to see. I do have to make some car videos as well. Maybe after I get my car back from the power steering repair, I'll record one there. But yeah, happy Easter, guys. God bless you all. If you're a rider, keep a shiny side up. If you're a car enthusiast, I don't know what the saying is there, but I guess keep it on all fours. But enjoy, guys.